Hello, everybody. Earl.
What's happening?
Hello, everybody. This time for reals. Welcome to the show where I forgot to post on LinkedIn that we were going to go live today. My name is Maria Gabriela Ochoa Press Vector. A lot of you may know me as MGOPW, and I am a Next Experience outbound product manager here at ServiceNow. And joining me today is my awesome co-host.
My name is Brad Tilton, and I also am a product manager at ServiceNow on the Next Experience team. I'm switching instances while trying to do this.
So a little bit of background for those of you who may be joining us for the first time. You and I Builder Live is really meant to show you what real development looks like on the platform. Don't believe any developer in any interview that tells you that they're perfect and they don't need to Google and that they can get things right on the first try, because I guarantee you they have a bunch of skeletons in their closet. This show is meant to be a more casual way for you to get exposed to UI Builder concepts, for you to learn with us and learn through our mistakes and our failures and successes. Brad, have I bought you enough time to switch instances?
Mostly, yeah. All right, so today we are going to we're going to kind of do some prep for my knowledge lab, and I had prepped this a little bit in a different instance. But it's my instance that for some reason is never working correctly, and it's continuing not to work correctly for me when we do the show. So like Gabby said, we don't practice this stuff. Part of the value is for you seeing us do it. If you've got something you'd like to see in a future show, please let us know in comments or in the Slack. And we will add that to our backlog. We do have a lot of things in our backlog currently. So we're going to do something real quick before. I wanted to start in UIB, but we don't have enough time. So I'm going to try to introduce this as I'm doing things. We'll see if that works. So this is my knowledge lab this year. We're going to create an interface for a custom app that's around like taking meeting notes and creating to-dos from the meeting notes. So it's something that I end up doing all the time, and I wanted a lab for that. And one of the things I wanted to do, I think it's called building a killer single page app or something like that. What it'll do is I want it to look like a lot of the ServiceNow shipped products like Application Manager and Plugin Manager. So that'll be part of the lab, is using the base app shell to create an app like that. So I need to create a table real quick so we have something to work with. Although by creating a table, we may not have time to actually work. All right.
So we had a great question in the chat, Arun. They're looking for a tutorial on UX form actions, declarative actions. I agree they are a little difficult to understand, but there are some great community resources that I will send to Earl to post in the chat for some explanations on what declarative actions are. There's this amazing community post that got shared, and I'm sending that to Earl on Slack.
All right. Admin can do everything. User can do everything except delete.
What? I've never seen anything go wrong by giving users delete access. And there's the link in the chat now.
So we're going to add a couple of fields to this table, and then we're going to get into UIB. Data. Oh, I don't need this thing. There we go. All right. So we're just going to add a couple of fields to it. I might go the old way. So let's give it a note. I want a title and a note. It'll need things like user and stuff like that, but we don't need that for now. Let's make it 100. Let's call this text.
So if you want to find some more awesome creator concessions, you just basically have to type into Now Learning, build a killer, and you'll see all of Brad's sessions. I love that everything is just build a killer blank. And this one is build a killer single page experience.
Something like that. I'm going to have to change it because I'm pretty sure this is going to end up being multiple pages, but that's what it's called right now. And
I feel like false advertising would be just like the icing on the cake.
All right. So we have a couple of fields. I think this is enough to get started. So what I want to do is I want an experience that for me, it'll be in my personal instance on my homepage, could live in like your own dev instance or PDI or something like that. And I'll probably make it my instance homepage or easy to get to, but I want it to kind of look like this page or the application manager page. It's just called plugins. So
that always gets me, but the moment they fix it, I will never find it again.
The product is called application manager. Yeah. So like this page where we've got this banner, and then it's got this tile that is up in the banner a little bit is what I want to do. And then maybe we'll have a search box and then notes and whatever below. But I want to try this.
And hey, I think since we're on this page, it's a great time to plug that UI Builder is now a store release. So
great point. Actually, on Washington, in this instance?
Yes, we have. Right. In Washington, now you have to go into the store in order to find updates to UI Builder. Make sure your UI Builder says up to date, so you get all the cool declarative action. No, all the cool visual data binding features. Sorry. Now you can go on ahead, Brad.
So yeah, UI Builder, when you upgrade to Washington, you do have to manually upgrade it. And then when we do our store release 2 in May, you'll manually upgrade it. But after that, there'll be some message, or it'll be automatically upgraded, I think, in the Xanadu timeframe. I guess throw the safe harbor up there. That's what we're trying to do. And there's some great suggestions in the chat for things that we should cover in a future episode. So we'll make a note of those and add them to the backlog. Thanks for contributing. If you have a specific question, we can try to cover that. UI Builder.
A really good place for you to go to ask these types of questions is the community forum. That's kind of the official place to go to in order to ask ServiceNow questions. Another great place that I like to promote is sndevs.com, which is a community-run Slack server where I basically learned everything I know from people like Brad 5-6 years ago. Check it out, invite.sndevs.com. We have our own channel on there. It's called next-experience-UIB-workspace. And Earl's going to post some information on that in the chat and in the description as well. Thank you, Earl. And
then somebody asked when sessions are going to be available for knowledge. They they generally will post kind of a higher level list of things that we're doing. And then after that, you'll be able to like register for labs, but that's usually like late March, April timeframe. It'll be a little while. All right, so this is, I just randomly looked at the application manager page. I don't think this is going to help us out much because it's not all that visible. So let's try a different one. This is just one, I think this is a component. So one big component that everything's in. So that doesn't help us out much, but I think at least the admin homepage will give us an idea. So if I go into the Unified Navigation app, Unified Navigation is what we call that this thing up here. This is the Unified Navigation. And so it has its own landing page. So let's go ahead and open that landing page. And so on the landing page, I kind of want to make my page look like this, where I want a title up here, and then I want something in here, maybe a search box or my latest note, and that'll go up here. But there's some negative margin somewhere, and so let's see what's going on there. So, oh, that's a modal. There we go. So this is this top container, and then this is the other container, but this thing is up in here. So let's see if we can tell. I think it's going to be in the CSS here. Or do I have to duplicate it to find it?
Maybe edit in original scope?
Yeah, I guess I can do that. That's a good call. So let's see the external layer. This looks like all background and border stuff. So internal layer. That doesn't look like it has it either. So let's look at the container itself. It doesn't look like this is what's being affected. We can check it out. Doesn't look like it's it. Here it is. We've got a negative margin here. So we have two options at this point. I could start from scratch and try to try to build out my page, or I can go into the back end and just grab all of this layout and put it in my own page. And so that's what we're going to try to do. So this is, it's probably not, maybe not a best practice, but if you're really just trying to kind of play around and figure out how something's going to work, it is a good way to do that. So what we're going to do is kind of just copy the composition and styling of the page and add it in here, but we won't have any data or events or anything like that. I really just kind of want the layout of the page. So we're going to try that. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a new experience. We'll call it notes. I'm going to use the base experience shell, and we're going to hit create. We'll open the experience. So we need a new page to paste things into. We'll call it home. Generally, if you have a page that's going to be your landing page, you should name it home because that's the default home page. And then we're going to call this home default. It's kind of nice to name your variants because you may get a whole bunch of them. All right, so I've got that page. So the first thing I'm going to do is try to remember the name of that other page. Admin next experience landing page. All right. So every UI Builder page variant is a macroponent. There are also other things that are macroponents. I did not write that correctly. It's a sysux macroponent is the table that holds all of these configurations. If you've ever wondered why two people can't really work on the same page and they override each other on the back end, the page on the back end is a single record for the most part. There's some scripts that live in another record, but every page has a macroponent on the back end here. So let's find that admin page. How many? 63? That's too many. Was it admin next experience landing page? All right. And then I need to have a notepad or something. Where are you, VS Code? Actually, let's just do this. All right, so that is this page that I'm copying from. I'm moving kind of quick. Is anybody lost?
Not at all. I think we're all following right along. We're not meeting in the chat.
So can you recap what we've done so far, Gabby?
So we have gone to the admin next experience landing page and looked at the classic environment list in form view to view the properties to copy onto our own page.
Sounds good to me. I like it.
Fantastic.
Is this the actual landing page? I guess we're going to find out. So there's 3 main fields on the macroponent record. The layout model, which kind of tells me what my containers and layouts look like, and then the composition, and then the data. So let's just try copying and pasting and seeing what we get here. Yeah, and then there's lots of other things that make it to where if you have a complex page, this is not a great strategy to try to get that page, but hopefully for us, it gives us some sort of layout to start with. So I have pasted that in my home default page. So let's go back and open it up and see what it looks like. Hey, this looks pretty good, actually. This is going to give us a good place to start from. I didn't expect it to work this well, to be honest. I don't really want this modal, though. Can I make it go away? Can I not delete? Oh, I can't delete the whole modal section. I don't want people to be able to give me feedback on this app, so we're killing that. And then I don't need well, I do kind of like this section, so maybe we'll leave that and use it for something else. Landing page cards, container. All right. Ooh, so what's a good, we've got 35-ish minutes to make something happen. What's a good...
Can we do a to-do list?
Yeah, well, I only have the notes table built. I don't have my to-do table. Let's do a notes list, or do we want to do let's do a notes list and the ability to create a new note. That would be, seems like a good stretch goal. So let's do some things here. That had some data binding in it before. So let's call this, no, it's super creative, and use this page to manage your notes and to-dos.
See, this is how you guys know I didn't get to put any input into this app, because I would have been like, you and I be notey?
All right. And then in this top one, maybe we can have a couple of these sections. Maybe we can see how to do that in a future show. But for this one, let's go ahead and we will say notes. Actually, I want to make this 2 columns. I'd love to have maybe a notes list on the left and then the note itself on the right. Can we use a split view for that? Let's see. Do we have split view available? No. All right. Is that a new component, split button?
I don't think so.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of something else. All right, so let's add before we want a column layout. We'll do a 2-column layout. We'll put that up here. And then I'm going to kill the admin dashboard. Keep saying that's so violent. I'm going to get rid of the admin dashboard. That's what we'll say. So let's just add a list, a simple list on the left. I don't always love the look of the simple list, but we can try it. Ooh, or do we do the whole bundle and then get rid of all the stuff we don't want?
Let's do that.
That does seem more fun.
Because this is a new Washington bundle, right?
Oh, it has its own preview section, doesn't it? List panel viewport. Oh, it does.
Oh.
We're going to undo real quick. Yes, we can. Let's pretend like the plan was to highlight the presentational list.
Yes, from the beginning.
Forget what we did. All right, so add after, and now we'll add the list.
So in today's episode, we're going to highlight the new presentational list component.
So we'll have to figure out how this list panel viewport thing works. I actually am not sure, but presentational list. So first we need to tell it what table to look at. So I'm going to do that through the list controller. So this is kind of our second big preset and controller component group that we have added in Washington after Form in Tokyo. And one of the things we've added is a little bit easier way to know that, hey, this component is being controlled by a controller. It's not completely configured here. So if I go into list controller, it's going to actually show me that data resource. And from there, I can come in and do some of the configuration. No, it's notes to do note. Yeah. All right. And then let's add some columns. I don't think we have a default view yet. So I think we probably want sysid. No, we're going to get that anyway. We'll add it. Title. Text. And then let's see what it looks like. Oh, we don't have any data.
One thing I almost missed is that, yeah, I was about to go in and create data, but I didn't know your table name.
I think can I do that through here?
Yes, I think if you go to preview, it'll take you directly there.
I want to add the records here. Oh, here it is. Add record.
Oh, wow. So helpful if we read.
Let's get rid of these columns and add title and text. It's my creativity really shining here. Oh, I bet I can't add. This is an HTML field. So we'll just go note 2. Three seems good. All right, let's save my UIB page. Yeah, no data still. All right.
So
do I have actual data?
I was noticing something weird about the data resources refreshing.
Let's do a hard refresh and see if that helps. That's cool. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's right. I don't actually want the sysid in the list. There we go. So I have my list, and then I have this list panel viewport. So do I need to add a page collection? If only we knew how that worked. I don't know. Let's preview the page and see what happens if there's anything that gets wired up when I click on one of these. We'll click on UNI Node Live. All right, I don't have a record page, and that seems to be probably what it is trying to do. Wow, this is nice that all of these things are already set up for me. Although, cell edit requested, column reordered, message action clicked. I don't think that's it. Cell, what's the cell person? Oh, I think you have the ability to show an avatar in one of the cells. Cell link clicked. This is what we want. Well, that's not helpful for us. So the event mapping, you can't be edited or deleted because it comes with the preset you applied. So that means that it is probably linked to my controller. So let's look at my controller. And okay, so I think it's linked to this reference link clicked. Which is trying to route to a record page that doesn't exist. So I could pretty easily, I guess for now, we can just add a record page. Am I saved? So just to kind of show how this can work, I guess we need to go back to the experience view. Let's add a record page. We'll go standard record. I'm going to call it, let's just call it SRP. These are the things that it comes with. That looks good to me. All right, so that exists. So if I switch back to home default, and let's go ahead and just open it in a new tab so we can see what the URL is doing. And click on this, it still doesn't work, so that's good. So let's figure out what this is actually doing, because it doesn't look like it's doing what we want or what I described. So let's do some troubleshooting. My favorite troubleshooting tool is going to be logging, and we're just going to say console.log event payload. Wow. Yeah. And then just because there's a lot of things getting logged, I sometimes like to make sure that this is actually getting fired. And so I put my name in it because that's the way that I am. So let's hit save. And we'll go back and test. And then Probably going to need to zoom way in on my develop. Oh no, it auto zoomed for me. Okay, so let's click on something. Interesting. I think the way that it has configured itself is not right, this presentational list. So I will be speaking with the list team. Selected rows. All right, how much time do we have? So let's, I'm going to, yeah, I'm actually not sure which event is getting fired because this component, like all of these events are presets. And so I'm not quite sure. Oh, you know what? I never added the, let's make sure. I never actually added the logging. That's a checkbox. This is not the right one. Oh, well, let's go. I think cell link clicked is probably the right one, but let's add logging and try this again real quick.
So I've been in the background. I changed the max length of the HTML field. I fixed our form view too, so it actually has fields in it.
Yeah, it sounds like the way that the presentational list is set up is not doesn't actually work with the routing. So I'm gonna have to go back and see how that's supposed to work. So for now, we are going.
Let's go back to the normal idea.
We're going to go back to what we were going to do originally. So let's pretend that we didn't do this one also.
We'll cut it in post.
All right, so let's add our, this just makes it more challenging. So we'll go back and add simple list. Except it's called list simple. All right. And then let's give it the right table, which was notes. Note. And then I don't think we need to see the text. I think let's just show the title. And then let's see how much of this we can hide. Last refreshed. No, this isn't bad. Let's keep that. And then on the right, for now, let's just show, we want an input in an HTML field. I still have this list controller. I'm going to get rid of that as well. All right, so we need some client state parameters. I want one that's going to hold the note ID. We're going to add one to hold the current note title. We're going to add one to hold the note text. And then when I click on each of these, let's go ahead and update those. So let's go reference link clicked. I think I don't know that I have access to all of those actually. So this is also a good one. Let's figure out when I click one of these reference links, what is actually in the payload of my event. So I'm going to hit save. I'm going to go back here. It's too big. All right, so we get the table, title, do we get the title? No. All right, so we really just get the sysid. So we're going to have to look up, well, what's in prototype? Yeah, we're going to have to look up this record. So let's add a lookup record data resource, which I don't have to search for, which makes me really happy.
And something else that changed in Washington is the name of it. So it's no longer lookup record and records. It's now lookup a single record.
And I'm going to change this to be lookup note because I may be looking up multiple records on this page. So we'll look at the notes table, and then we are going to use the note ID. And then I also only want to call it when it is invoked. And then I already have the sysid, so I really just need the title field and the text field. Got it. I don't think I want anything else. That looks right. And then, I want to do the client state parameters. I guess we're going to data types. I can't bind these to data resource, huh?
Can't we set client state parameter from it being fired in the event?
Yes. Let my brain work for a minute. I've done this before. I'm having trouble remembering exactly what I did there. Yeah, let's try this. So let's update this client state parameter. I don't actually know that this is going to work, but let's try it. So I'm going to go data resource. I don't have any data yet. Do I need to give it a test value?
To save?
Yeah, let's try saving.
That's so weird.
Well, we can do, what was the, let's see if adding an actual value will help our test. And then, wait, it did give us one by default, though. It tried to get one. Yeah, my fallback is going to be using a script, but I was going to try to do it without using a script first. It may not. You may not be able to use the value of the data. Or it was already there. The data resource in its own.
Yeah, it's like not able to use itself.
Which makes sense. I think I've been trying to remember how I normally do this, and I think it is with a script. So let's go on success. Well, I guess I have to write a script first. Go away.
We should have, I'll work with Earl to set this up, but we should have some form of like confetti coming in from the sides anytime we have to hard script something. Time to script. Oh, thanks,
I don't think I
Earl.
can have two of these at the same time, huh? And note title and note text. I don't think it matters for this one. Let's go display value. I hate auto completing now that I have visual data binding. I want to use visual data binding in my client scripts. Text.
Pro tip, you can use the update client state parameter event handler and switch to the script view if you don't want to create a bunch of client scripts.
Nice. We should have done that. All right, so on reference link clicked, we're going to update my note ID, and the value is going to be event payload sysid. Why does it have a? This is interesting.
Could it be because it's not currently populated?
I have an idea of why this is. So we may, for now, have to say it's just payload.sysid. Can I not switch to code? Why can't I switch to code here? What if I do this?
Oh.
This is janky. All right. Payload.sysid. I don't know why it wouldn't let me grab that from event.payload, but something, well.
It wouldn't let you?
Yeah, it has that little icon. It won't let me. So we'll go up and now it's gone.
Showed up. Oh, it's gone.
And now it's gone. So we'll do this through a script as well, I guess. This annoys me.
Time to script.
All right. If there's anybody from the UIB team watching, we should look at that. Set note ID.
No, Brad, you can't do double quotes now when you did single quotes earlier, please.
I think there are places where it gets mad at you if you don't use double quotes, and I never remember where. I'm generally a single quotes person, though. What are we doing? It's in the payload. That's why I can't use API.
In the chat, are you a type? Do you put your parentheses on the your curly brackets on the same line as your if statements, or do you put them on the line below?
Oh, I'm a same line like this.
Me too, which is the correct answer. I just want to see if we have any heathens in the chat.
All right, so let's go. We're gonna set note ID. Did I call it node ID? Wow, that's fun. And then we're going to refresh that data resource.
Good job, everybody. You passed the test. You can continue watching the show.
Oh, you know what? I think this is what I'm doing. Now that we're away from it, I don't... I think this is going to... Why? Yeah, data resource. lookup note, results, title, value, apply. All right, here we go. So I believe we have successfully connected our list to a client state parameter that's feeding a data resource that is then feeding our input here. So I guess let's preview without saving, because sometimes I just like to use that feature because it's there. So if I hit this, we should get that. All right. Okay, so this works.
We succeeded, everybody. Now we need the confetti. Hang on, I got this.
Oh, all right.
Confetti's coming. There we go, confetti.
Ooh, let's do.
I don't know
go ahead.
Well, number one, it seems like every time I do that, my camera dies. Number two, Earl, I don't know what you're talking about.
Do task. Which one was task number 2?
Well, I used to have it named a better intern, but I remembered not many people might know that inside joke, so I changed it to better producer, and now he's upset.
Mm. This one does. Oh, it's because I didn't save it. Maybe we should do that. It's the problem with all the preview and the undo redo is I don't save as often now, and I have a feeling that's going to go poorly for me at some point. I do. I'm getting kind of annoyed by all active tasks showing up, so I'm going to try to get rid of that if I can. Hide title. Yeah. What about the refresh thing?
Hide option to refresh is the last one.
I want the option to refresh. I just don't want to see it here. And now I'm annoyed that
no.
this doesn't come down by the title, but I'll live with it. I guess what we can do is this. Where's the title? Here we go.
Title. It was right there.
And then we can kill this stylized text. I mean, get rid of it. Wow.
So violent.
I apologize for being so violent today. I don't know what's going on. So now I get to try to remember which component we're going to use for HTML, because I don't think it's called HTML.
Type in text.
It's weird. I'm.
It's not rich text. It says HTML.
All right, let's try. I think rich text will only display you text. It doesn't give you the option to edit, but that may be wrong.
Oh.
Yeah. I think there's one that lets you actually edit the HTML as well. It may be, I don't know, let's add a few of them and see what looks good. What about script?
So stylized text is going to let us display it, but what we want is to be able to edit it like it's a live note that we're editing, like an input field.
What code? Can I tell the code editor to be HTML?
Oh,
I can. All right, let's see if this works.
And then initial content, bind that.
Yes, that is what I was looking for, and never initial content would be it. No.
Now, what do we put in? Value or display value?
I don't. That makes sense. I think value. Guess it doesn't matter. Oh,
awesome!
Render this for us. Come on. I guess this is fine. I think there's one that's actually. I think there's one that it does both. If y'all are following, I want it to look good until I toggle.
Oh, you want it to be WYSIWYG.
Yes, that's
like a KB article.
This is possible, and I can never remember what it is because it's in a weird. What is the component? Maybe somebody can.
Text area.
I don't think it's text. I think that's just an actual text area element. All right, I'm only gonna scroll back up. We're not gonna keep looking.
Yeah, rich text didn't have a toggler.
I could also be completely wrong, and this doesn't exist, and I dreamed it one day, but I'm pretty sure. I think the email composer does it. So there's like something in the email composer. I'd have to go look at it. Wah, wah. All right. So let's get rid of rich text. I will delete it. And then let's see if this works.
So rich text does render the HTML, but we want to be able to edit it like it's a WYSIWYG. Like we're just editing a Word document next to us.
I guess I could toggle. We could build our own toggle. It seems like a lot of work, but right, like I could have both a rich text and the Now code editor, and have a button that toggles them that like writes to client state parameters and things. Maybe that's for next week. Can I make you not word wrap? I don't like that. Oh, or I do want it to word wrap. I don't like this either. All right. All right. Well, that's something.
Hey, we accomplished something. Our original goal was to make a page that looks like the application manager, and
that's true.
It looks really good.
That works. Yeah, probably the most valuable thing you get from this is the ability to go into the macroponent table and kind of grab the structure of a page. If there is a page that you like, and put it on another one. So we did get that here.
Yeah, I had no idea you could even do that. It makes making new pages a lot easier in the future. And I'm not even just saying that to have like an educational moment in this episode. I'm like actually legit about it. But I think we're at a great stopping point.
Hold on, I want some padding to exist.
Here we are. Let's see. People in the chat, how important is for something to look good before it works good? Because I have a very strong opinion on it. But let's see what people in the chat think real quick. Would you prefer something looks good or it works well? I mean, Jesselyn, you and I obviously know the answer. Earl, that's too logical. Get out of here. David's got it. It's really funny because if you look at an episode where Brad leads without this application macroponent copying of the look, it'll all be like super Spartan, like function over looks. And then I'm over here in my episodes like, okay, first we got to add the CSS. Oh, we don't have any data binding yet, but we need CSS and we need this. And where's the margin?
No, this is what I want to do.
Fake it till you make it with the functionality. I agree. We know who the UX designers are in the chat.
I'm kind of mad. It won't let me move the input component.
Oh, weird.
Let me move the container. There we go. I can move the container inside the input. That's great. I'm going to have to test this on a different release and see if it's a Washington thing. Anyway, I think we're done.
Awesome, everybody. So thank you so much for joining us on another fun adventure on You and I Builder Live, #Yibble. It is now our official #Yibble.
I heard you say that for the first time today and did a double take. I've typed it. I just hadn't actually heard Yibble out loud, and I still don't know what I feel about it.
Too bad. It's now a thing. So #Yibble, everybody on LinkedIn, on socials. Let's make it a thing. Be sure to tune back in. Our next episode is something I should have looked up before I started speaking. But remember, we are here every second and fourth Thursday of the month. And actually, we have a awesome set of special guests coming in for the second episode in March, is it?
Yeah, so we have an episode on the 14th and then another one on the 28th. And the 28th, we're going to look at the new dev tools, all the new stuff. So we're going to have Alap and team. They were on back in August to introduce the next experience dev tools. We've added, more functionality to it for the Washington timeframe. So they're going to come on and kind of talk to us about that and help us play around with it.
So on the first episode of next month, we're going to have a part 2 to our UIB Notely app. And then we're going to have our next experience development tools part 2 on the 28th. And remember, as always, we also have a Next Experience Academy on the third Wednesday of the month. For next month, we're going to have it on the 20th of March. We're going to be going over what's new in Washington. Now, you guys have had a preview of this since we've gone over it in this episode, but we're going to have a more formal kind of PowerPoint-driven presentation with a demo for that presentation. So if you want to send that over to your coworkers who like presentations, sit in a cubicle all day, I think they may enjoy it. I lost my train of thought. Brad, do we have any last words before we sign off?
I don't think so. I think we're good. We've taken down some of the ideas that you all had for future episodes. And yeah, so we've got March planned, but we've got some openings after that. And yeah, thanks for joining, everybody.
Thank you all so much for joining. Have a good one. Bye-bye.